Despite the concerns issued by the U.S. in their latest advisory, proprietors of businesses in the over-the-hill community says tourist safety is not an issue. Our Anike Archer has the story in this report.
Many years ago it was, but there was a time when crime was few and far between over the hill and the community was tight-knit. But like most communities of yesteryear, things have changed. But if you go by the U.S. State Department's recent travel advisory on the Bahamas, not at all for the better. Over the Hill was named as one of those areas Americans should avoid when visiting the Bahamas. But some who've long called the area home or who operate businesses there, the warnings unwarranted. General Manager of long-established East Street business Mortimer Candies, Cale Mortimer.
I think it's a negative tone because I don't feel that it's warranted. If you go to any other country, there would be crime and everything else at that time, wherever you go. As far as Arawaki goes, I don't see it being a problem, especially with a police station being there. As far as over-the-hill businesses, I feel that we are somewhat neglected by the tourism market because a lot of the tourists don't make it to us because taxis don't come and they are encouraged not to venture into certain places. Yes, we do have crime there, which is everywhere in the world, but I think we are being targeted at this point.
Having spent the last 40 years on Nassau Street, Base Road Wholesale Liquors owner George Robinson Jr. shared similar sentiments.
I have a lot of taxi drivers that bring tourists to my establishment, and we welcome them, and they are elated when they come because the report we get from them, they don't want to stay downtown. They want to come over the hill. They want that over-the-hill experience. And when they come to my establishment, they like to mix and mingle with the locals. Crime over the hill is not what people think, especially when it comes to tourists. And that advisory that the U.S. put out on us, I don't think it was fair. It was not fair because every country has a crime problem. But we are still fortunate. Most of our crime problem is what we call with the locals. They don't interfere with the tourists.
Now, while the advisory may not have had a direct effect on over-the-hill businesses, the merchants we spoke to say they're still concerned that the Bahamas has been targeted unfairly. For JCN News, I'm Anike Archer.
Increased requests for foreign construction workers prompting serious concerns, particularly considering the thousands of skilled Bahamians who remain jobless. And that's a picture the Department of Labor wants to change, and it's hoping to do so with a one-day construction job fair. Saturday's job fair will not only focus on line staff, but those qualified for senior management positions. The job fair takes place at the Kendall G. L. Isaacs Gymnasium between the hours of noon and 4 p.m. this Saturday, January 20th. Stay with us, we have weather up next.